I thought I'd do a video today again on UC Davis. Since their motto is "Let there be light," I thought this would be a fun time to shed some. Although this is old news, I thought it would be fun to talk about nonetheless. Some of you may already know that back in 2010, UC Davis actually co-sponsored the Governor's Global Climate Summit 3, which was hosted by none other than Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. The featured guest speakers that year was actually Prime Minister David Cameron from the United Kingdom and Harrison Ford, which we all know is the actor and activist. So with the agenda highlights, I'm going to read a bit about what it says. It says the GGCS3 promises compelling climate conversations from the top leaders of local, regional, national, and international entities, as well as those from academia, business, and nonprofit. This summit will continue to broaden our partnership through the increased understanding of our unique environmental and economic challenges as we continue to grow a clean, green economy. GGCS serves as a forum to learn best practices, share ideas, and collaborate on projects to see firsthand how our actions at the subnational level can drive national and international climate negotiations. Governor co-hosts that year were Jim Doyle of Wisconsin, Jennifer M. Granholm of Michigan, Chris Gregoire of Washington, and Ted Kulongowski of Oregon. Here's what Arnold had to say. Welcome to the beautiful state of California, and thank you for joining us as we unite together to find productive ways to tackle the effects of climate change on our environment and our economies. As we await negotiations on the international agreement, we as subnational leaders can and must take action now. We must work to drive green projects to both stimulate our economies and protect and preserve our most precious resources. The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change has predicted that most of the implementation for climate-related policies will happen at the subnational level, and that our role is crucial in moving climate policy forward. We are where the action is at now. We must continue to approach and work together as we build this emerging green economy so all can benefit from the global green marketplace. Please join us as we chart the course together towards a greener global economy through environmental stewardship. Sincerely, Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. The rankings at UC Davis are pretty good. We have number 1 here is agriculture, ranked number 1 in the nation in agriculture. Number 1 in the nation for veterinary medicine. Number 4 for best public university in America by value. Ranked 5th for nationally among public universities. Ranked 1st in the nation of campus sustainability. Ranked 1st in the nation for diversity, inclusiveness, and internalization. And 12 among the top 100 producers of minority bachelor degrees. I wanted to talk about that as well, the statistics on the minorities that attend the school, but I'll come back to that. Ranked number 2 in top school universities performers on social mobility. Here's a bit on the student demographics. For the fall enrollment, it has a listing of some of the ethnic backgrounds and the percentages over the years. We have both the undergraduate and graduate program. We have 2020 and 2016 listed. So for the ethnic mixture, we have Black at 3.7, Asian 32.5, White 21.6, Hispanic Latino 23.1, Native American at 0.4, and then unreported and unknown at 2.2, and last but not least, we have international at 16.4. Back in 2018 for the fall semester, they actually had listed that women actually comprised 60.4% of the undergraduates. One of the featured stories: imagine feeding cows seaweed to save the planet. A bit of seaweed in cattle feed could reduce methane emissions from beef cattle as much as 82%. Imagine saving small birds from big oil. After a spill off the California coast, the UC Davis Oil Wildlife Network sprang into action. If you look up, let there be light. This is the image that appears. And it also has under it Genesis 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light, and it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. There was a book called The Last Question. It was by Isaac Asimov. And in the book, it was symbolizing the godlike growth and power of an extremely advanced computer as it creates a new universe from the ashes of the dead one, drawing comparisons and suggesting an explanation for the biblical book of Genesis. So this is the book. This is the book, The Last Question. Summary plot. The story deals with the development of a series of computers, Multivac, which is the computer, and its relationships with humanity through the course of 7 historical settings, beginning on the day in 2061 that Earth becomes a planetary civilization. In each of the 6 scenes, a different character presents the computer with the same question: how the threat of human existence posed by the heat death of the universe can be averted. How can the net amount of entropy of the universe be massively decreased? That is equivalent to asking, can the workings of the second law of thermodynamics be reversed? Multivac's only response after making such thinking is insufficient data for meaningful answer. The story jumps forward in time into a later era of humans and scientific development. In each era, someone decides to ask the ultimate last question regarding the reversal of the deceased of entropy. Each time that Multivac's descendant is asked the question, it finds itself unable to solve the problem, and all it can answer is, there is a yet insufficient data for a meaningful answer. In the last scene, the godlike descendant of humanity, the unidentified mental process of over a trillion humans who have spread throughout the universe, watch the stars flicker out one by one as matter and energy end, and with them, space and time. Humanity asks AC, Multivac's ultimate descendants, that exist in hyperspace beyond the bounds of gravity or time, the entropy question one last time before the last of humanity emerges with AC and disappears. AC is still unable to answer, but continues to ponder the question even after space and time cease to exist. AC ultimately realizes that it has not yet combined all of its available data in every possible combination, and so begins the arduous process of rearranging and combining every last bit of information that it has gained throughout the eons, through its fusions with humanity. Eventually, AC discovers the answer, that the reversal of entropy is in fact possible, but has nobody to report it since the universe is already dead. It therefore decides to answer by demonstration. The story ends with AC's pronouncement, and AC said, "Let there be light." And there was light.